This is Chuck Schaefer, and I'm joined by Esteban Kolsky. Esteban has spent over 20 years in customer strategy and CRM solutions as the founder of consultancy ThinkJar and a former Gartner analyst. Esteban was also recently named by CRM Magazine as an influential leader. The purpose of our discussion today is to explore the business opportunity and benefits of customer experience management and also understand how customer experience supplements or complements customer relationship management. Welcome, Esteban. How are you today?
Thank you, Chuck. Doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Certainly. Customer experience is an interesting topic because it seems nearly every CEO has put it at or near the top of his or her company objectives, but seldom do two CEOs agree on exactly what customer experience is. I know you're a person that likes to begin conversations with context. How do you define or describe customer experience?
It's something very interesting that you said. It's like, nearly everybody put it at the top of their list without knowing what it is. Now imagine if they knew what it was, right?
Yeah.
That would be amazing. So, we've been talking about customer experience for a very long time. 10, 15 years ago, we identified customer experience as the way for CRM to deliver on the promise that it made back in the day. When we started on CRM, the idea was to understand customers better and deliver personalized, solutions and personalized service and personalized interactions that targeted to what they wanted and what they needed. And we were never able to do it because we never had the right data. So customer experience is something we've been trying to do forever. We just took many different wrong ways to get to it. We thought it was a software application. We thought it was a strategy. We thought it was something that you could design by yourself. Then we design with the customers. But the bottom line is customer experience is trying to create the best possible interactions for customers and then collecting feedback on those interactions so you can continuously improve them as you go along. It's one of the simplest things that you can do because you have to interact with customers and you have to give them what they want and meet their expectations. So that's what it all comes together in the customer experience.
That's helpful, Esteban. Thank you for that. Let me look to the end results and work backwards a little bit. What's the business opportunity and the benefits to be derived from a successful customer experience strategy?
Well, the benefits are, we can number benefits any way you want to. We can say that you get higher customer satisfaction, increased loyalty, higher wallet share, better knowledge of the customer, better profiling, improved processes, more feedback, more interaction, social interaction, engagement. We can name all those things. But the bottom line is when it comes to the business, we make products, we sell products, we service products. And since we make the products for the customers, we sell the products to the customers, and we service the products with the customers, there's no better way than to work with them for all this. And that's where customer experience starts taking shape. It's understanding that, it's not a one-way relationship. To be a co-creation, collaborative experience between the customer and the organization. And this is where the customer experience happens. Those interactions and collaborations between the customer and the organization, that's where customer experience happens. And the benefit is you get to run a better business. You get to know what the customer wants. You understand their needs. You understand their wants. You understand their desires. You understand what they're looking for. You understand their expectations. And by targeting and focusing on those, you deliver a better solution than your competitor.
Let me take some of those thoughts just a little bit deeper. Customer experience aims to put the customer at the center of the company universe and become a customer-centric organization. It's an admirable goal, but I asked myself, and now I'm asking you, why didn't CRM already achieve this same goal over the last 2 decades? What's now different?
Well, so there's two things that are different. Number one is we learned that even though we talked about customer centricity, companies remain, and still to the day for the most part remain, company-centric. It's really hard to change the culture. It's really hard to change the politics of a company to become customer-centric. It's not something you do overnight or even in a year or 2 years. It's a long-term process that evolves. And customer experience, has to be part of that evolution. But the second part and the most important one is we didn't have the ability to interact with customers where the customers wanted us to be. CRM could not deliver because we focused on operational data, and we never took the time to go beyond that. In the last 10 years, we learned to focus in data that goes beyond operational. We learned to focus on behavioral data. We learned to focus on attitudinal data, and now sentimental data. We get to put better profiles together that makes us understand better what customers want and deliver to those experiences. So it's not that couldn't deliver to it. It's just that we didn't have the right approach. We didn't have the right maturity about the solution to become customer experience, so customer-centric. And there's one caveat, though, to this customer centricity, because one of the biggest problems we had in adoption of customer centricity in the last few years is the fact that companies, when, like you said, they put the customer at the center of everything they do. You know, it's equal to the old saying, the customer is always right. You do what the customer wants. But the problem with that is, like, it's not a good business model, because you may lose more money, it may cost you too much, it may not be feasible, it may not be viable, it may not be something that the company needs to do or can do. So it's not about putting the customer in the center, it's about devising a business model with the customer in mind that delivers value to both parties. And that's the key to customer centricity that we learned in the last 5 years or so, and that's where you're seeing much better adoption, much better implementations these days.
You know, Esteban, you're describing both the upside and some of the challenges. So let me ask you this. Transitioning from a product-centric business into a customer-centric company is no easy task. For business leaders who believe they need to make this transition, how do you recommend they get started?
The best way to start on the road to customer centricity is to recognize that the company really didn't care about the customer before. And that if you want to become customer-centric, you need to care about the customer. This is, reflected in the way we did pretty much anything as an organization, the way we build products, we sold products, we serviced products, the way we conducted marketing, the way we listened to our customers, the way we conducted feedback, the way we did everything with our customers was focused around the ease of mind and the ease of a process for us, for the company, not for the customer. So once you start from that premise, and like you said, and you walk backwards, then you start walking backwards and recognizing that you need to make the customer a common, a central place of your strategy. And that's going to be the first step. When you start thinking in that way, you start seeing how the interactions need to be, more focused on what the customer needs, not the value that we think they're going to get, but the value that they actually get. You're going to see that, they probably want more channels or even less channels in some cases. I mean, there's a whole craze right now with Twitter and Facebook as social channels, but not everybody wants to solve the issues on Twitter or Facebook or even on the phone or even via email. So you need to understand all these different components, and you need to build this infrastructure that would allow each customer, or at least each customer segment, to build the personalized experience that they're looking for. So it's not like you're not going to build one solution that does everything. You're going to start finding out, what are you doing today what are you not doing today that you should be doing? What are customers expecting to you that you want to do? And then how do you make all this work in a business model that delivers value to both the customer and the company? And it sounds very high level, but that's because that's where you start. You got to start at the high level. You cannot go and create a customer experience for passport resets, or a customer experience for marketing, or a customer experience for, buying a car, for example. You cannot create that. That's something that organically grows from having the right infrastructure, having the right systems, having the right methods, the right people, the right processes in place. That's the difference between what we were doing before and what we're doing now. It's like, we're building those infrastructures versus just building the experience.
For my last question, let me ask you, do you have any other advice for business or IT leaders that are about to embark on a customer experience or customer strategy journey?
Absolutely. I mean, the first thing, even though it sounds counterintuitive, the first thing is like, don't focus on the customer. Focus on your organization. Make sure you have the right people, the right processes, the right technologies. Make sure you have the right frame of mind, the right executives, the right everything in place. If you have the right mind frame to become customer-centric, then focus on the customer and begin building the business model that we discussed before, where you actually have this ability to deliver value to the customer and to the company at the same time. If you focus on the people, if you focus on the customer, you're going to leave behind all the business value you can obtain. If you focus on the company, you're going to leave behind the business value that the customer can obtain. So focus on both at the same time, but make sure you have the right attitude, the right people, the right culture, and more important, the right infrastructure to support customer experience implementations.
And with that advice, I think we're at a good break point to conclude our conversation. This is Chuck Schaefer, and I've been joined by Esteban Kolsky. Esteban, thank you for your comments and insights, and thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Chuck. I really appreciate it. It was great being here.